What's up YouTube? Ian Sandusky back here again for Let's Machine. You can see I'm not filming at my usual location for Shop Talk today. We hired some new guys and they come in earlier, so that area is now being used to run machines. There are machines running in the area, I should say, so it's a little up. So today on Shop Talk we're going to be talking about selecting a tooling rep and just general tooling rep practices. So those of you who may have just started or are not too sure, a tooling rep is someone who comes from a company, typically a tool distributor. Typically they're not actually working for, let's say, Sandvik. Typically they're not working for Helical Tooling. They're usually a distributor. Occasionally you will get people actually from the tooling company. Those are great to deal with. But for your local area rep, unless you're in a really big city or you are an extremely big company, you will probably be dealing with a distributor. For instance, Valcar or Tryhard or Caliber or someone of the like. Typically you're not going to get the Harvey tool guy coming to you. But I digress. So when it comes to tooling reps, there's a few things you should always keep in mind when you're selecting them. First of all, you are not under any obligation to work with any one tooling rep. Very important. You owe tooling reps nothing. They work for you. You pay them money, they give you a service, or they give you a product. That's it. I've dealt with some guys who, I know some guys who, they tell me, oh, I have this tooling rep who keeps coming in and I don't want anything from him, but he comes in and wastes my time. And I tell them to get out. You know what I mean? These people they're out doing a job just like you or I. They're out to sell something to you. Some of them are even out there to help you. The good ones are out there to really help you do things. The ones that are out to make a buck and are treating this like any other sales job, they're gonna waste your time just like cold calling. So first and foremost, keep that relationship in your mind. You don't owe them anything. You can buy tooling from them for 10 years. The second they do something that you don't like, you are free to go somewhere else. There's tons of people out there, there are tons of tools. Also, most tooling reps will carry most brands will be carried by multiple tooling reps. There's very few brands, unless it's like a house brand, that you can only get through one tooling rep. So as long as you're working with a distributor, you can usually kind of pick and choose your pricing and stuff that way. When it comes to tooling reps, I really like working with guys who were previously machinists. There's a lot of them out there. A lot of guys who kind of come from other industries and get into tooling rep sales, I find aren't as knowledgeable, so they aren't as helpful. For instance, so I'm looking for tooling, I'm saying, if I go to my tooling rep right now, one of my favorites right now, his name is Dave, he works for Valcar. I can go to him and say, Dave, right now I'm doing this kind of job. I want some emblems for it, I'm taking 2-inch length of cut, et cetera, et cetera. What should I be using? He used to be a machinist, so he can say, actually, dude, what? I have these brand new tools from whoever, let's give them a shot, let me bring in a sample. And that's helpful for me, because I don't need to do all the work myself. I can use him to do some of the legwork. Some of these guys who don't know as much, aren't as familiar with machining processes, will say, well, what are you looking for? And then basically it just falls on me to do it. And I don't know if you guys have run a machine shop. There's a lot to do that's not just making tools. So anything I can get off my plate that way helps. Plus, he can suggest something. If I always use high helix tooling, he says, you know what, actually you should use tooling with higher flute counts on these, and it actually works. You can learn stuff from them that way. The other reason I like machining background is because then they know what to recommend. I have this one tooling rep that used to come around here a lot. He was a manual machinist. I have nothing against manual machinists. I have nothing but respect for them. But every time I wanted to say, hey, listen, I want a helical bore this on the mill, he would essentially argue with me and say, well, why aren't you using a boring head? No, use a boring head, clock it this way and do it this way. No, you should do this on a manual mill. You should clock the head, put a tool in like this and do it this way. And that's fine, but at the end of the day, like I always say on this channel, there's a million different ways to do things. I want to do something one way. This is how I know how to do it. This is the way I've planned to do it. I want you to tell me how to best do it if you're going to help me. I don't want you to argue with me to sell some tooling that you have on special that this is how I should do it. I find that really, really irritating, but that's that. The last thing when it comes to tooling reps is, you should find someone that is, well, I guess the last two things. One, you should find someone who's very conscious of your time and respectful of your time. Again, Dave from Valcar, one of my favorite guys. He'll come in every Thursday and say, hey, Ian, how you doing? Good, nice to see you. Do you have anything going on this week? And if I say, nope, everything's pretty much by the book, he says, thank you very much, see you next week, and he leaves. 5 minutes, done. There's other guys who will come in and say, for instance, that same guy, Dave, if he comes in and I say, yeah, do you want, I need this, he'll spend an hour with me and help me find stuff, you know what I mean? He's very respectful of my time, that if I need help, he'll give me help. If I just need to get stuff done, he understands, he leaves. I've had guys come in and sit there and and want me to go through an entire catalog with them when I don't know them from Adam. I don't feel like that's a very good waste of my time. Find people who are respectful of your time. Lastly, don't be afraid to make your tooling reps work for you. If I, for instance, need what was I looking for the other day? I was looking for a new knurling tool. I was recording a job and I had this knurl that I'm not really familiar with. So I went to, again, Dave, this is basically just a big commercial for my tooling rep, I guess. I went to him and said, hey, listen, do you carry XYZ kind of knurling tool? I don't even remember what kind of knurl it was, but it's a weird one. I need a price on it because I'm gonna need to buy it for this job and quote it out. He will go and he'll talk to all his suppliers and find me the best price on one and say, listen, he'll come back and give me, here's the low end, here's the medium end, here's the high end. If this is a straight knurl, this one actually is an angled knurl, so use it for this. He works very hard for me, even though sometimes, it's only a $100 product. Find tooling reps that work for you and, make them work for you. You're paying them. They get paid to do this stuff. So don't be afraid if a tooling rep comes in, don't be afraid to give them homework. Say, listen, I am interested in your tooling. I want to know what the difference is between this XYZ tool you have and the tool I'm using right now. I want some stats on it. I want to test out a tool. I want to be able to see if it actually has longer tool life or better cutting ability. A good tooling rep will say, no problem. They'd love to earn your business that way. A bad tooling rep will, hem and haw. So, that's just kind of a quick overview on tooling reps, guys. There are tons of them out there. They're great to work with when you find a good one. And when you find a good one, treat them well. I say you don't owe them anything. I'm very loyal towards tooling reps that have treated me well. I also don't work at all with tooling reps that have treated me poorly. As in any industry, support those that support you. So I hope this has been helpful, guys. If you have any questions, feel free to leave them below. Tell me your favorite tooling reps. Let's help everybody. Mine, Dave Leahy from Valcarb. If you're in Canada, you should be using Valcarb. They're fantastic. Every guy I talk to, I suggested this guy at Valcarb. They say, oh, actually, I have another rep, but he's from Valcarb as well. Love them. If you want to see more videos, guys, make sure you like and subscribe below. Again, thank you as always for coming and hanging out with me. Thank you very much for watching, guys. You take care.